Hi everybody, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Redloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I'm so excited to be back after a 2-week hiatus. I was getting over having a respiratory infection and I've still got a little bit of some lingering effects there. So I've got my water off to the side here, but I am ready. I'm feeling better and I'm ready to craft with you today. Now let me just make sure that I am live here on Facebook. I'm also live over on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. Looks like I am good to go on Facebook and should be live over on YouTube as well. There we go. Yes, I am. All right. Well, I hope you guys had a wonderful past 2 weeks. Like I said, I was getting over a sickness. First, I lost my voice from it. Then it just got really, really bad last week. So I got some medicine and I am much better. Definitely, like I said, feeling some lingering effects. So I have my water here off to the side with me today. So I may be taking some sips in between, but just to let you know, I am feeling much, much better and I am happy to be back with you today. Now we are going to create 3 projects featuring the super cool stamp set. This is a brand new stamp set from our 2023-2024 annual catalog, and it is, to me, I think it's super cool too. It is a stamp set that combines both images and sentiments together, so you only have to create with one stamp set, and I'm really looking forward to being able to create with you again today. All right, hello Carol and Carol. We have 2 Carols on here today, one from Connecticut, one from Minnesota. Thank you for watching. Hello Holly, thank you for watching as well. All right, we're gonna go ahead and swap the camera and then I will go over just a couple quick things and then we'll hop right into our projects here today. Now the first thing is my May card class to go. So the registration for this ends tomorrow. This features the Tropical Leaf Bundle. Now this bundle is an online exclusive item, so it's not found in any of our publications. So this is a stamp set with coordinating punch to go with it. And this is a co-hosted event with Lisa Hardy of Sweet Paper Studios. She is a Canadian demonstrator. So no matter where you live in North America, you can create along with us. Now, here are the 2 projects that I created for this month's class to go. Now, in this class, you'll receive a full package of the brand new 6x6 Brights Designer Series paper, a package of iridescent rhinestones, as well as a package of Stampin' Dimensionals. So you'll be able to create 8 projects, 4 different designs to each of those designs. And you can add on the Tropical Leaf Bundle to your class registration if you would like. So deadline to register for this is tomorrow. You receive a full project PDF tutorial. This is a class to go, meaning that you can create these projects on your own schedule. So you don't have to worry about attending a class. The project PDF tutorial will walk you through everything step by step. Now, if you are in Canada, there's a specific link to register with Lisa. If you're in the United States, a specific link to register with myself. And then everything is online in the link in the description of this video here today for you to be able to register. So card class to go featuring the Tropical Leaf Bundle ends tomorrow if you are wanting to register for that. Now, I haven't even announced it yet. I just created the graphic for it this afternoon. My June Club Craft and Create featuring the So Refreshing bundle. Registration will open for this tomorrow morning and ends on June 8th. Now, the difference between Club Craft and Create and a class to go. Club Craft and Create, you receive either an in-person class here in Tucson or a virtual event, live event via Zoom. Now that event is recorded So you can always watch along as I create the projects and then go back when you receive the recording and pause and work along with me. June Club Craft and Create will be using, like I mentioned, the So Refreshing bundle. This is that bundle, very cute. It has coordinating dies to go with it. This is a photopolymer stamp set, meaning completely see-through and clear. You can add this bundle on to your registration if you are wanting to, but to be able to create my exact projects, you'll want to add this onto your class kit. So the deadline to register for this is June 8th. It is 8 projects, 4 different designs, 2 each of those designs. And you have a little sneak peek here of the projects, but I'm just gonna show them to you really quick. So here is one project you can see with the lemon embossing folder. We have some fun together projects, some crushed curry, and a new bubble gum bath, or a bubble bath card. So that is June Club Craft and Create. Now this is a subscription class, but you can sign up for once, 1 month and cancel, or you can continue on as long as you would like. But the deadline for that is June 8th, and the registration link for that will start tomorrow. So like I said, I haven't even put this out yet. I just created this logo this afternoon. So all the details will be sent out tomorrow for how to register for that. And if you are not on my newsletter, they get the link automatically in an email that'll be sent out tomorrow morning. So all the details on how to register for Club Craft and Create, no matter if you want the in-person event or the Zoom virtual event, deadline is June 8th for that. All right, next up is Prize Patrol. So 2 weeks ago, I pulled the Prize Patrol already, so we don't have one to pull today, but our Prize Patrol for today is a hand-drawn dots stamp set. So all you have to do is share this video and comment that you shared, and you'll be entered into a drawing for the hand-drawn dots stamp set. Now this is a background stamp, meaning that it is a very big stamp, but the best part about it is that you can ink up a portion of this stamp, or you can ink up the entire thing. Now I did my presentation for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators back in November at Anaheim for this stamp set. So if you are wanting to see that stamp set in action a little bit, you can go to my YouTube channel, and my Anaheim presentation is on there, and you can see how I use that stamp set. But that is our Prize Patrol for today. All you have to do is share this video and comment that you shared, and you are entered into Prize Patrol. All right, I think that is everything that I have before we get started on our projects here today. So let's go ahead and jump into those. So today I'm going to be featuring 3 projects with the Super Cool Stamp Set. Now this stamp set is found on page 28 of our annual catalog, right across from that So Refreshing June Club Craft and Create stamp set and bundle. So the Super Cool Stamp Set, it is 11 photopolymer stamps, meaning completely see-through and clear. Now this is a standalone stamp set. It does not have any coordinating dies, punches, designer series paper to go along with it, but the best part about that is that you can kind of get creative and mix and match with some of our other designer series papers that we may have available. So the Super Cool Stamp Set, page 28 of our annual catalog, is what we're going to be creating here with today. So our 3 projects, now I am using the Eclectic, what is it? I just want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. It is called the, where is it? Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series Paper. Now this Designer Series paper, again, it kind of doesn't have a specific stamp set or anything that it goes with. It really goes with a lot of different bundle stamp sets in the catalog. This is actually a mega pack of designer series paper. It's 12 by 12 and you get 48 sheets of designer series paper. So it is one of our thick packs of paper. So this is one of our projects that we're going to create here today. This second one uses Fresh Freesia and Basic Black for that one. And then this is probably my favorite one that we're gonna work on today. And this one features 3 brand new colors for our new catalog. We've got Bubble Bath, Lemon Lolly, and then a returning color, Lost Lagoon. So I'm very excited about creating with all these new colors that were released with the annual catalog. And they are very fun to kind of mix and match. I'm actually working this a week with a bunch of Subtles colors. Actually, everything I'm using today minus Pretty Peacock is from Subtles category, and I barely use our Subtles. So it was kind of a out of my comfort zone thing, so I was excited to get to do that. Now, don't forget, each week on my website, stampinblondie.com, you can print out my free project PDF tutorial. This has all of the item names, item numbers, the prices, and the dimensions of the 3 projects that we're going to create here today. And don't forget, there is a backside as well. So this is free every Monday when I have Makers Monday. It posts at 6 a.m. first page on my website. To find those, you go to stampinblondie.com, and at the top there is a link that says blog, and then you can go there and see all of my posts with all my cards and projects and everything on there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Our first card that we're gonna work on is this one here. Now, I'm not sure if you saw this. This designer series paper has these little hearts on it, but every so often there is a pink one. So I did not color in the designer series paper. There's a bubble gum, I keep calling it bubble gum. It's Bubble Bath. There's a Bubble Bath colored heart thrown in there. So just a fun way to kind of add some more color to your projects. Now, don't forget, if you are wanting this week's Makers Monday projects, you can place an order on my website. The link is right here on my video. If you use the host code that is listed and place an order of $35 or more, I will send you the class supplies for this week's project. So you'll receive all of these pre-cut pieces to be able to put together your projects. Now, if your order is $50 or more, we have the embellishment of the week that you'll receive as well. These are the new adhesive back sparkle gems. So if I kind of put them up to the camera a little bit, you can see we have silver, black, and gold, and 2 different colors of, or 2 different sizes of gems, 3 different colors, and it may be kind of hard to see through the camera. Of course, they're sparkle because they're named sparkle gems. So if you place a $50 or more item prior to shipping and tax, you will get these included in your class kit for free as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. There is our first card kit. So we have a piece of basic white cardstock cut to 5.5 by 8.5. Remember, all the dimensions are on that project PDF tutorial, so you don't have to write anything down. And we are going to use our bone folder here to crisp up our lines. All right, I'm glad that you guys liked the cards this week. They were really fun to make. Let's bring that into the view so you can see what it looks like. All right, we have a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock and a piece of basic white cardstock, as well as that piece of designer series paper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our designer series paper. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my point of my paper here and the point here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna align, we're just gonna cut our paper so that we have this angle. Now, when I do mine, this second cut may just be a little bit different than this first one. So we're just gonna add the point here at the 3 and kind of tilt our paper. I hope you guys can see this, maybe not. There is, let me bring it up a little higher here. At the bottom of our trimmer, we have 3 inches, and then we also have centimeters. So I'm gonna put the end point of my the right point on the 3 inches, and then the other one is gonna be on the 3 centimeters. So we're just going 3 and 3, and that'll give us right where we want to cut our paper. So right side aligned, I'm gonna put this back down now. So right side aligned with the 3 inches, the left corner with the 3 centimeter mark, and then cut. So we have our piece of designer series paper, and that will be right underneath our Calypso Coral piece here. Now this top piece, you can actually make this same design card, but kind of opposite. So you have this extra piece of designer series paper, you can just put that off to the side and create the same project just backwards, but I'm just gonna put that off to the side for now. So we don't need our paper trimmer for anything else here today, so let me put that off to the side. And what we're gonna do is we are going to take our designer series paper and adhere that down to our card base. Now I like to use liquid glue because if I don't put this in the exact spot that I want it the first time, I have a few seconds with the liquid glue to kind of shift and shimmy my paper exactly where I need it. Now this is just a scrap of Calypso Coral cardstock. It's a 1/2 inch by, I don't even know. It's just a 1/2 inch wide. That's all I need. I don't care how long it is. I just need it to be 1/2 inch wide. So what I'm gonna do is take my liquid glue and just do a thin line of glue across where this 2 meet. And then we're just gonna add our piece of cardstock right over where those 2 pieces adhere. So see, we're just gonna cover up that seam there. All right, for the next bit, we're gonna take our paper snips. I'm just gonna push it on the back to make sure it's all adhered really well. And we're gonna take our scissors and just trim off the edges. Now this is a really good design for scraps. We all have those little pieces of cardstock around and we're like, what do we do with them? It's a 1/2 inch wide, it's not very big. So this is a great way to use up some of those scraps that you may have laying around. All right, we're gonna use Pretty Peacock ink. Now Pretty Peacock is actually part of our Regals family. It was a previous in color that has come back, and I'm very excited because I loved Pretty Peacock and I was very sad when it decided to retire. So we're gonna take the stamp set here that says Hey There. That's what we're gonna use, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna ink up our stamp, and we're gonna stamp it right in the middle. Now I'm gonna pull this just a little closer. I may go off camera. I just wanna make sure I don't get any on the Calypso Coral. So we're gonna start in the middle. Now we do that for our spacing. We wanna at least get the full sentiment of Hey There on the card. So we're going to stamp that. Let me get a spare piece of paper here to put under this in case I stamp off. So we're gonna ink up again and do the same thing right next to it. So we're just creating like our own line of sentiment right across there. So it says they, hey, there, hey, there. Just a little fun back and forth there. And we can close up our Pretty Peacock. Okay, we're gonna stamp our ice cream cone. I have a spare piece of basic white cardstock. We're gonna stamp that in Calypso Coral ink. Again, another great way to use your scraps up. We have all these scraps and no ways to use them, so these are perfect for creating. So we're gonna use this little ice cream stamp here, and we're gonna stamp it in Calypso Coral. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this stamp set unfortunately does not have any coordinating dies or punches to go along with it. So let me just make sure I'm getting this on here all the way. We are gonna have to fussy cut. Now I know some people don't like fussy cutting, but it is very quick and easy to cut this out because it is just rounded edges. So very, very easy to cut that out. Again, look at that spare piece of paper, and we're just going to cut this out. All right, here we go. Yes, I am feeling much better. I am still, you may hear, a little congested. I've been, the doctor gave me oodles of medicine to try to kick this as fast as I can. So I have 3 prescriptions and 3 over-the-counter medicines to take. I don't think I've ever taken so many drugs in my life, but I am feeling much better and it is on its way out. All right, so then we just need to round the edge of our ice cream cone and we can get rid of that scrap. All right, our piece of Calypso Coral cardstock, we're gonna add our stamped piece to that. So right across here and there. Now on the back of the Calypso Coral, we're gonna add Stampin' Dimensionals just to give that a little bit of pop to our project. Look at that brand new sheet of dimensionals. I love a brand new sheet of dimensionals. Here. Because this is a bigger piece of cardstock, I'm gonna put 5 on here. Normally I just put 4, but we have a bigger piece. We don't want it to get saggy in the middle. And that'll go right in the middle. Our ice cream cone is gonna go on with a dimensional as well. And now we're going to embellish. So we have the Baker's Twine Essentials Pack. Now this comes with all 5 rolls of Baker's Twine. You have white, crumb cake, black, gray, and very vanilla. So you can mix and match these with all your projects. They go with everything. So I'm just gonna take 2 pieces of Baker's Twine, about 8 inches long. When I work with Baker's Twine, because it's so thin, I like to have just a little bit more twine than I need, just because it helps me hold on to it a little bit better. Right, and we're going to tie this into a bow and pull. Then you can pull the tails at the same time to get them exactly the size that you want. And we're gonna adhere these with a mini glue dot. When you work with Baker's Twine, it's much easier to adhere it with a mini glue dot. You don't have to worry about any kind of liquid glue oozing out behind your Baker's Twine. And that's just gonna go right on the bottom of our ice cream cone. And then one final touch, we have the embellishment of the week, the adhesive backed sparkle gems. We're gonna use one of the smaller gold size gems and put it right down here in the lower corner. And that is our first project today, featuring the super cool stamp set. So I hope you guys like this one. I really like this designer series paper. All the projects that I'm creating today feature that same designer series paper. So it's a very fun, it mixes and matches with a lot of projects, but that is our first project. So I hope you guys like that one here today. All right, our second one. This is my favorite that we're gonna work on here today. This features Bubble Bath, Lemon Lolly, and Lost Lagoon. 3 colors that are brand new to the new color catalog that we just released. Now in this class kit for this week, we have a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock. So we're gonna fold that in half and use our bone folder to crisp up the line here. Let's get our dimensionals out of the way. All right, and then lots of little pieces here today, but we're gonna, most of them are kind of scraps, just to, again, another great scraps card. So we have a piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to emboss that with the Cane Weave embossing folder. Now our embossing folders have this black line here on the bottom, which works really well for lining up your cardstock when you run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now, because this is a regular sized embossing folder, we have to use the big machine here today. We're gonna put down platform number 1 first. Our embossing folder with our paper hinge side is gonna go in first, and then plate number 4 goes on top. Now, all these have, the platforms have pictures, so if you aren't too familiar with what order that your plates need to get sandwiched in, the platform will tell you exactly how to put it together. See, there's a picture right here. Platform 1, plate 4, because this is a 3D embossing folder. All right, the cane weave embossing folder. This is a really fun folder. I like that it looks like a basket. So that's what it looks like here. And we're gonna adhere this down to our card base. Now, when I'm adhering embossed pieces of cardstock down to my card base, I really like to use liquid glue. Because this has lots of little grooves and crevices in the paper, I definitely want to make sure that that liquid glue kind of gets into the cracks and creases of the paper. All right, and we're going to put that off to the side there. We have a piece of Bubble Bath cardstock. Now, this color is kind of like those magic color things where when you put it together with one color, it looks like one, but then if you pair it with another color, it looks more like another. So right now, I think it looks pink, and it's supposed to be pink. But if you pair it with Highland Heather, it looks more purple. But if you pair it with Flirty Flamingo, that's probably not a good one. Let's see. More like Petal Pink, it looks purple. But then if you were gonna go like Melon Mambo, it looks more pink. So this colored paper is really a good one because you can kind of mix and match with what it coordinates with. So it's kind of a fun new color to do that. All right, we are gonna use Bubble Bath ink, and we're gonna create our own designer series paper. So we're gonna use the Jelly Roll stamp that's in here, and we're gonna create our own background paper here. So let's get that stamp and that piece of paper, spare piece of paper, out here again. I really like this Bubble Bath color. I didn't think I was gonna like it at first. In the catalog, you know, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what it looks like. But when I got it and I started stamping with it, it's a really fun color that, like I said, it kind of goes back and forth between 2 different colors. So all I'm doing is using the Jelly Roll to create my own pattern background. It's very easy to line up because it has kind of a point to the top of it where the strawberry is. So all you do is put that right in between the top 2 layer there, and then you can create your own background. Now also, I have a die cut circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. I'm very happy these carried over to this catalog. And we're just going to stamp the same image right in the middle of that. So there we go. All right, Lemon Lolly. I will admit, I am not a big yellow fan. Now, I do like Crushed Curry because it's more of like a fall toned yellow, but light yellows, like I was not a fan of So Saffron, but Lemon Lolly is actually a very brighter yellow, and look how bright that is. So I really am starting to like this yellow more and more. At first I thought it was gonna be, like I said, like another So Saffron. I barely used So Saffron at all. So this, when I stamped with it the first time, I was very impressed with how bright it was, and I was very happy with that because, like I said, yellow, I mean, Lemon Lolly, not really my color, but I like that it was a brighter this time. All right, I'm just gonna take a pair of scissors. So this is just a scrap piece of basic white cardstock. I'm just gonna take a pair of scissors and cut my sentiment here. Now on the dimensions sheet, I gave you a size of basic white cardstock, but I just used a spare piece of paper here, just a scrap, easy to use. Now on another scrap of basic white, we're gonna stamp the sweet sentiment, and this will be in Lost Lagoon. Now Lost Lagoon is a returning in color. It was very, very popular when it was released. So based on sales is how they determine what colors could be returning. So Lost Lagoon was very popular, so I was happy when it came back. If you are missing Soft Succulent, which is a color that just retired, Lost Lagoon is a perfect kind of substitute for that because it is very close to that, just maybe a little tad darker than Soft Succulent. Now, I mentioned earlier, this does not have any dies or punches to go with it, so we are gonna fussy cut out the word. Now, again, this one's very easy to cut out because it's a lot of rounded letters, so this font makes it easy to cut out. Now with fussy cutting, you can get as detailed or not detailed on your cutting as you'd like. I like to leave a little bit of a white space around my fussy cutting. Courtney, I'm ready to get those colors in my hands. Yes, this is actually a really fun color combination too. Lemon Lolly, Bubble Bath, and Lost Lagoon. It's fun to just pull ink pads and see what color combinations work together. So this was a fun card to work on here. All right, so we're just fussy cutting our sentiment there. And now we're gonna assemble. So we have our piece of Bubble Bath cardstock. We're going to adhere that to our embossed piece of white, again with the liquid glue, just to make sure it is really on there. Push that down a little bit. Our die cut circle with the stamped jelly roll, we're gonna use liquid glue, and it's gonna hang off the edge here just a little bit. Our sentiment that says "You Are So" in Lemon Lolly, we're gonna add that with liquid glue. And again, this is gonna hang off the edge of our Bubble Bath just a little bit. Now our sweet sentiment, we're gonna add that with dimensionals. So I have some edge pieces of a dimensional sheet here, and these longer like edge pieces work really well with this sentiment. So I'm just gonna put that right there. And that's gonna go under our "You Are So" sentiment. And then the last bit, we're gonna embellish with some of the small silver adhesive back sequins. And we're gonna put 2 here and 1 right there. And that is our second project today with the super cool stamp set. Like I said, this is my favorite one that we're making today. I really like this little jelly roll with the bubble bath. The color combination is fun, and these little sparkled gems just don't really overpower the project. They just add a little bit of shimmer and shine, and that's our second project. Hope you guys like that one too. All right, and our last one here features the Fresh Freesia cardstock. Now, Fresh Freesia was one of our in colors from last year that carried over, so it was very popular. So it carried over and is now part of our Subtles collection. So we have our Fresh Freesia cardstock 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And use our bone folder there to crisp up our line. I don't often create with Fresh Freesia. I will admit I love pink more than I do purple, but I wanted to use this designer series paper. Again, this is from that Just want to make sure I'm calling it right. Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series paper. Here's the back side. So you could create this project really with any side of this Designer Series paper, but I'm gonna do it with the same side that I did my sample card here. All right, Fresh Freesia cardstock. This one is not embossed, but you could emboss the top half of this if you wanted to take your project to the next step there. If you are more of an advanced crafter and you want to step it up just a little bit, you can emboss this top half. All right, our piece of Designer Series paper, this is gonna go towards the bottom of that Fresh Freesia piece, right there. And, oh, I put that down and I needed to trim that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what to do if you do this. So we're just going to adhere it, and instead of the black ending where our layer goes, I'm just gonna layer the whole thing and trim towards the card. So I should have done that part before I adhered that layer, but that's okay. And we're just gonna put that there. And then we'll just trim this to be flush with the card instead of flush with the layer here. So we'll just flip that over and trim and trim. So there we go. So we have it all the way across instead of just shortened like that side. So still easy to be able to modify in case you mess up like I did. Okay, we have a square. This is, again, die cut with the Stylish Shapes dies, and we're gonna use a Fresh Freesia cardstock, or ink, and this little like soda bottle here. And the soda bottle is cute. It says Sweet Cola on it, so it has that same font. So you could actually use this sweet sentiment with this card as well, but I wanted to use this cool sentiment here. All right, what I'm gonna do is ink up my soda first, and I'm gonna stamp in the middle of the square. And then we're gonna stamp off to the right and then off to the left. Now I do this just to make sure that my spacing is okay. I don't wanna start on one side and then work my way over and then not have enough room after. So we just stamped 3 times with our Fresh Freesia ink pad, and we are gonna use dimensionals to adhere this. So it's gonna go right over that strip of basic black cardstock. Right. And that will go right there. Now again, another just scrap piece of basic white, and we're gonna use this cool sentiment in our Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure it's inked up really, really well because I want it to be dark. And then stamp. And again, we're gonna fussy cut this out. Now, this one is even easier to fussy cut than the last one because this is really all just rounded letters. So very, very simple to cut this one out. So as much as I am not always a fan of fussy cutting, I only do it when it's easy. And so this is very easy to fussy cut out. So just round these lines here. I'm glad you guys liked the cards. They're very fun to put together. I try to choose stamp sets in the catalog that many people may not, see the first time, especially because our suites and our bundles that really have, coordinating products to go with them, those are really the big things in our catalog. So I try to focus on stamp sets that may not be as popular just because it's fun to work with something that there's not a lot of projects out there already for it. All right, this one, because it's gonna hang off of our square, we're gonna add a dimensional on the back side of where it says like OL. And then the other half is gonna go on with liquid glue. Now, if we added dimensionals to both sides, it would be uneven on this side because our soda bottles are already popped up with the dimensional. So it'll be flat against there and then popped up so it's all even across the layer. And then as a final touch for this one, we're gonna use 3 of the black sparkle gems. So we've officially used all 3 gems on our projects here today. And that is our last project today, featuring the super cool stamp set. Now this is a fun layout. You can really kind of mix and match this for different occasions. This would be a great Christmas card. You add designer series paper here for Christmas, a Christmas stamp set, and maybe a Christmas sentiment here. Very easy to kind of mix and match. A great project to get rid of scraps that you may have as well. All right, we're gonna bring in our 3 projects that we created here today, and you can let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. We have our Fresh Freesia Cool card, our Bubble Bath You're So Sweet, or our Pretty Peacock Hey There Ice Cream card. So like I mentioned earlier, this Bubble Bath card is definitely my favorite here today. Very easy to put together. No matter what skill level you are, anybody can create these cards. So let me know in the comments here today, which one is your favorite that I worked on with you today. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. Now, just a heads up, the next 2 Mondays, there will not be a Makers Monday. I am leaving this week to attend the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip in Norway, and I'm extending my trip as well to visit Iceland after. So there will not be a Makers Monday next week and then the following week, but in 3 weeks on the 6th of June, I will be back sharing all of my swaps and all the fun stuff from the Norway incentive trip. I am so excited. I earned this trip back in August of last year, and I could not have done it without all of your support. So thank you everybody. I'm very excited to share about Norway and Iceland on my return, and I look forward to creating with you again next time. I hope you have